Hello everyone, this is Mike from BTR Budget Tech Reviews here, and today is the review of the LG K3 by Virgin Mobile. Alright everyone, another review here by Budget Tech Reviews here. My name is Mike, and this is the LG K3. Now I've had this phone for a couple of days, and I have an unboxing video, and I have a video test for the camera on the back. But just to start you guys off, I want to start off with the physical features of this phone. Okay, let me turn that screen off really quick. The screen size is a 4.5-inch display. Now, I know a lot of people are into bigger phones nowadays, which is kind of crazy because when I was doing more smart review phones back then, 4.5 inches was pretty big, to be honest. At the time I had done a GS2 a couple years back, Galaxy S2, well, more than a couple years back, and the size of that was about the same size of this. And to be honest, like, the size of this phone is pretty average for a phone. And as you can see here, I'm going to compare it to my iPhone 6s, which has a 4.7-inch display. And as you can see here, not much of a difference in size, maybe just a little taller on the bezel here on the iPhone 6s. But going back to the physical features, on the back here, as you can see, it has somewhat of a black matte finish, kind of grippy, not slippery at all, and it's not going to leave fingerprints. Down here on the bottom left, you have your speaker grill, which I'll get more into detail later on in this review. You have your 5-megapixel camera, and of course your flash there to go with the camera. Now let me pop this open really quick. I didn't get to open this in the unboxing, but as you can see here, the battery goes right here. It's a 1940 milliamp battery. Right here where my thumb is, where that little white area, you can see here it is the SIM card for the phone, and up here is actually a micro SD card slot. I already have my card set up in there. It takes up to 32 gigs according to the specifications online, and this one is a 32 gigs, so kind of perfect size for me. To be honest, if you want to take videos and lots of pictures and don't want to have the internal storage going on there. But let's go ahead and take a look at the front here. Again, like I said, it has a 4.5 screen, and up here on the top right, it has a 0.03 VGA camera, and as you can see here, it actually has a lot of fingerprints, kind of a fingerprint magnet on the screen. Not much you can do about that, just due to the actual material of the phone. I don't even want to say it's glass. I feel like it's a plastic type screen, and from what I'm seeing here, no, I don't see any indications of it being a glass screen. So let's just go to the home screen really quick. As you can see there, it darkens out really quick. You can see that it has an animation when I swipe, and I actually had it on YouTube there, but let me close it off again, and let's do that again. As you can see here on the bottom, you have kind of shortcuts. You have phone, search, and camera, and you can change that in the settings. On top, you have the date, the time, obviously, and if you have any push notifications, like I do right there, you can just kind of swipe. Now, of course, you can do a pattern lock. You can do a pin lock to lock this phone. Right now, I just have the swipe to unlock. Now, let's go to the phone here, as you can see. Now, up here, I have the widget with the time. Right there, it says tap to add your city. I didn't do that. I didn't have to activate this phone to get it going, guys, so that's the good thing. If you guys are watching, you don't have to activate this phone to actually use it and test it out before fully activating it. That way, if you decide you want to get your money back, you can go ahead and do that. But as you can see here, I don't really have a lot going on the home pages. I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to my home screens. I like the app drawer feature that this phone still has. In my unboxing video, the original home theme didn't have the app drawer, but actually once the phone updates a couple of times, you could actually change that. So going back to specs here really quick, and I'll move that aside so I can show the features, so I can show fancy features over here. But this phone is 480 by 854 pixels resolution, which isn't HD, so when you're watching videos on here, you're not going to get HD playback, you're going to get 480 playback. The pixel density is 218 ppi, it's not really that bad, to be honest. I mean, for a phone that, you know, like usually phones that have really bad pixel density, when you move them like this, you know, kind of angle them out, you have a hard time seeing what's going on. So this phone, it doesn't give you that bad. The screen really doesn't look that bad, to be honest. For a budget phone that cost me $49, it's really not that bad at all. Let's see. Again, like I said, it has a 5 megapixel camera on the back with an LED flash. It has smile detection, face detection. It has a self timer, digital zoom, and geotagging. And I'll get more into the camera in a little bit. The camcorder again takes 720p or 1280 by 720 HD resolutions, and like I said, in the front takes 0.03 VGA camera. This phone actually has a quad-core processor, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 210 processor, which was a surprise to me actually, because you know, a lot of budget phones you don't see quad-core processors in them, and for this one, you know, I was surprised to see that, you know, they actually threw it out. Sad to say, this only has 1 gig of RAM to it. So usually, like, I'm gonna be honest, the standard should be at least 2 gigs of RAM nowadays, especially on a smartphone, because you could feel the lag, you can feel the jank when you're moving between apps and going forward. And I'm gonna give you guys a little test right there. Out of the box, this phone has 8 gigabytes of internal memory also, and this might be the decision factor or the deciding factor on buying you know, this phone, because a lot of people download many apps to get through, you know, throughout the day. You know, I downloaded basic apps like Facebook. I updated most of their YouTube apps, Maps, you know, all their Google applications. I updated a lot of them, and it left me with very little space. After, you know, you get this phone going, you're really only going to have about 3 gigs of usage on this, and this is very important. You guys cannot move the apps to the app drawer, so that's one thing that I want you guys to know. So 8 gigs of internal memory only. And as like I said before to you guys, this phone has Android Marshmallow. Let me go ahead and show you that really quick, which is pretty good considering the fact that, you know, this is, you know, a budget phone that has one of the latest versions of Android, and I'm surprised to see it myself. Let's go ahead and look at the hardware or the software info really quick. And I showed it to you guys in the original video, but it's got Android 6.0.1, and you know, which is, you know, one of the, not the latest, obviously. The latest is Android N, but you're still gonna get a lot of good features out of it. So going forward from there, let's take a look at, you know, apps that this phone came with basically, and you're gonna see it came with your basic Google apps, as you can see here. You Hangouts, Voice Search, Gmail, Play Movies, Google Drive, Hangouts and Photos, which you can use, your basic calculator app, calendar, your camera app, Chrome, which should be in that folder, your clock one, which you can set alarms, contacts, your downloads. And going from there, you can see just other basic apps like your file manager, your gallery, Google Play, the weather, you know, LG Smart World, you know, a tasks app if you need a file manager, which is pretty good. And of course, apps that I downloaded, which is Quadrant Standard, and you know, just the game, Facebook, Sonic Dash, etc. You know, just to kind of mess around with it. So, you know, like I said, you know, you're not gonna get, you know, this is, you know, a budget phone, so you're not going to get all the bells and whistles with this phone. But I wanted to show you right here that, you know, your drop-down menu bar does show the time, and it has a lot of shortcuts that you could actually add or switch. So if I want to, I can actually change the setting there, and from there I can actually, okay, excuse me, from there, hold on, let's see, there's a way to add, and I did it earlier. Here you go. That's the little pencil. And you can add different shortcuts here. Now, I don't have them all set up, but you know, there's battery saver, there's flashlight, airplane mode, and then of course on the bottom you can do color conversion. You can add brightness and volume to the drop-down menu bar, just, you know, just for easier access, of course. And you have, you know, just little things like that. Now there's settings. You can go to sound. It's kind of, you know, bracketed off. So you have your networks, you know, goes to airplane mode, Bluetooth, etc., your mobile data, your calling, and then From there, you can go to your sound profile, which you can change the sounds on your ringtone, your messages. You can change the vibrate type also, your lock screen, notifications, etc. If you don't want to disturb, you can turn that on. It has a do not disturb feature. So surprisingly, like, this phone does have little, you know, trinkets, you know, that are going to come with, you know, with the LG software. Basically, you know, these are, you know, LG software added in to, you know, Android system here. So of course, like I said before, you have your home screen, and here, you know, you can change the theme from LG, and you can change that to something else. You know, you can go ahead and download more. I didn't. I just, you know, kept the LG one. You can change your wallpaper. You can change the screen swipe effect, which, you know, could be, you know, decent for a lot of users. You can allow home screen looping, so that the screens that you go back and forth to just continue looping. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on just so we can show it. You can change the font type, the size of the font, and if you want it bold text. You know, brightness, you can change that from here, obviously. And there's a night brightness mode actually that you can turn on between 12 and 6 a.m. and that's actually one that I didn't look at. But if you have an iPhone, or if you ever mess with an iPhone, they have an adaptive display for brightness that changes at nighttime. So it'll make the letters and everything easier to read when you're looking at your phone at nighttime or in bed. And of course, you know, you have your general, which is your language, keyboard, accounts, accessibility, your shortcuts, and just, you know, basic stuff that goes with Google, your system updates. So, you know, I doubt that this phone's going to get Android N, but you never know. I mean, who knows? It could be one of those things where you can actually see Android N on this phone. So just real quick, you know, I'm going to make a separate video for gaming and the camera usage. So this is just your first video on the LG K3 by Virgin Mobile, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Please help share this video, that way other people can see it. And if you guys are interested, of course, go out and buy it. But as always, guys, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.